Mini ITX builds. Is anyone here rocking a mini ITX PC right now? Anyone in particular? Let me see. Let me do this real quick. Because what we're going to talk about is just the concept of getting a mini ITX PC. Is it worth getting? Is it too much money? What are some of the things you have to consider for mini ITX builds? You know, I know Jackson has a couple cases. Well, at least a case I know you really like. That's mini ITX, that NZXT case.
H500.
Yeah, H500.
The H510 Elite. Yeah.
Anyone here rocking mini ITX? Because there are some pros and cons to it. You guys are just going crazy with the subs. Thank you, man. But just talking the difference between mini ITX and form factors, the cost, and things like that. You got any takes on that mini ITX? What do you think?
Well, mini ITX is smaller than normal, but it's okay to be smaller than normal.
It's okay.
You know, like you have average, you have smaller than normal. Like it's okay. Like I've actually heard it's better.
It's better to be smaller.
I've heard that. I've heard it's better to be smaller. I don't know.
Just be smaller.
But yeah, basically the mini ITX, you know, the main things you got to watch out for. This is if you're planning on doing a mini ITX build. You got to watch out for what kind of power supply it needs, because a lot of times they need SFF power supplies. That's where it really gets expensive. Like mini ITX motherboards, I feel like have started to come down. You know what I mean? They started to kind of make more sense, but the power supplies, you can pay, like for a 650 watt, I think we spent like what, 110, 130?
Yes.
Crazy.
It's very expensive for those.
Yeah, if you want a decent one, I should say. So, I don't know. I mean, you know, the biggest takeaway is you're going to spend more on a mini ITX build, like no matter what. But it's going to look cool. It's going to be small.
Yeah, if you go really small, you have to keep in mind what kind of hardware you're putting in there for temperatures.
That is true. And graphics card size.
Yes, like, graphics card size. You can get really small mini ITX builds. If you're putting like really, really hot hardware in there, you're going to have some problems. So make sure you check the reviews of some of the cases. We did a build in a video that hasn't gone live yet, but some of the temperatures were a little bit higher than normal. They weren't unbearable because the fans basically have to ramp up really high. So that's the only downside.
It's loud is the biggest problem.
Yeah, it's loud. The temperatures aren't awful, but they are a little bit higher than what you would normally get in another build. So if temperatures are very important to you, that is a big factor to consider with mini ITX.
Do you think mini ITX will survive the triple slot GPU trend? Well, I mean, that's what he's kind of saying is like there is some cases that can take triple slots. So thank you, Darius, again.
My God, Darius.
It's actually funny. In the other room, I'm using the Cuck Mini Continuum, and I have a 3-lane card in that, but it is only a 2-slot PCI lane. So
yeah, the cut.
I had to cut the PCI bracket down for it to fit. I haven't had any issues, and it's been like that for, what, a year or two?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're okay with modding and stuff, it's just one of those things where I cannot think of a time we did a mini ITX build, and we didn't get everything, and then go, oh, shit.
Something's not working.
Yeah, like, it's always something. So you really have to plan for mini ITX build.
I'm not a huge fan of the concept of traveling with your computer. I just never really think taking a mini ITX PC with you makes a lot of sense.
I mean, unless you have monitors and a keyboard, like, I could see it making sense if you do extended stays.
Yes.
If you're going to like your grandparents for like a week, you know, once a month, then I think it makes perfect sense. Or especially if you're working and you need something powerful, like, you know, it can be cool. They sell a lot of computer cases that have handles and stuff.
Yeah, so just as long as you don't get like an NZXT case that might catch on fire, you know, you're probably fine. Mini ITX is pretty good. There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of enthusiasts making some really high-end Mini ITX cases out there. So Mini ITX, fun form factor. Just keep in mind there's a lot of different variables at play. Darius gifting another sub.
Thank you.
Darius, thank you.
Yeah, Mini ITX is definitely becoming more and more, I guess, like, comparable to the normal, like, mid-towers. I mean, look at, like, a few years ago, and what was the most popular type of case was a full tower. And nobody builds in full towers anymore. They're all like considered to be mid or like micro or mini towers. And that's just because like, why do you need a huge tower? Like you're not putting a ton of hard drives in there anymore. So, I mean, everything's getting smaller and smaller.